You're not listening to the Smoke World Podcast. You're wasting your time, you mortal.
What's up, folks? Welcome to another episode of Smoke World. I'm your host, Stone. So go grab that stick, go grab a glass, whatever you're drinking. Let's sit back and have that conversation. You can follow me on Instagram at Smoke World Podcast. Email stone@smokeworldpodcast.com. And if you haven't checked out the website, you don't live on the planet Earth. The website, smokeworldpodcast.com. Today's guest is Dr. Lane Rowland, MD, who's a virologist, a trauma surgeon, and a military vet, and guess what? An infectious disease expert. He's going to be talking to us today, and today I will have my guest co-host, Art, who's the co-founder of Grow Out Oils. We will be talking to Dr. Lane Rowland. Gentlemen, what's up?
Wonderful, brother. Wonderful, brother Stone. How you feeling today, man?
Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Doctor, like I said, I want to say thank you for joining the program. We're going to appreciate you giving your expertise and taking the time out of your busy schedule to sit down and have a conversation with my folks and the listeners. So, Doc, how you feeling, brother? What's going on with you, sir?
I'm doing super fantastic, man. You know, another night, another opportunity, another opportunity to educate, save people's lives, and I thank you for even considering to be on your platform. It's another voice that we have to get the information out to people to make it in their lives.
All right, so yeah, Doc. Again, brother, have you ever enjoyed the cigar?
Oh yeah, man. I mean, I told you after we got done in our military training, you know, after hard events like Airborne School or Pathfinder School, you know, we light up a cigar as a celebration, and you know, have that with a glass of cognac or some nice bourbon.
Oh wow. Okay, so I really want to dig deep, just a little bit, because I know on any other show you're really talking about what you know best: infectious diseases and dealing with the climate that we're in. But I want you to kind of tell us, where are you from? How did you get started? Because again, I love to see the glory, but a lot of folks don't know the backstory. So I want to get the backstory of where you from and kind of let the folks know who you really are and how you came to where you're at today.
Well, you know, my life is a picture, man. I mean, I was born in the great state of Louisiana, in a country town, and the reality is that you know, that country town kind of defined me with Big Mama. And the reality is that from my homeless beginnings as a country boy in Louisiana and buffalo fish and catfish, that kind of got me started in life, man. But you never know where you're going to go in life, you know. And I remember probably one of the pivotal points in my life. I was born on a military base in Oakville, Louisiana, a place called Fort Polk. But I think the moment in my life that really defined me when I was like 5 years old, and my mother got a call from the school, and they said, you know, we need to talk to you about Sid, you know, which is me, and that, you know, we think he needs to be put in special ed. And my mother said, he don't need to be put in special ed. You know, he's bored. You know, when you're talking about 4 plus 4, Sid was talking about 9 times 9, looking out the window. And my mother said no. And then the next thing, my mother gave me a microscope, and I started looking at microorganisms, and I was like 5 years of age. And then from there, it's just, you know, I've always been in love with the things of the unseen, microorganisms, bacteria, viruses, and that's how my career went, you know, until I got to high school. I had a white teacher ask me, hey, Doc, you know, no, I wasn't Doc, but he goes, hey, Sid, what do you want to be? You know, and I'm like, man, I want to be a doctor. And he told me at that time I didn't have the aptitude. I mean, what black boy knows what the word aptitude means? And man, I always remember that. And then you fast forward it. I'm at the university, and I have a scholarship, military scholarship, and football scholarship. And I was majoring in microbiology and chemistry. I had a double major and a minor in military science. And I remember my senior year, I applied to all these medical schools, all these different PhD programs, and the teacher named Diane Horn, I've made her famous. Most people don't know who Michael Jordan coach is that cut him in high school, but I made Diane Horn very famous around the world because I don't have time to sugarcoat things. And so I asked her for a letter of recommendation, and she looked in my face. Oh, Sid, you're going to be great. And so, I walked life, and I got accepted to a couple PhD programs, Wayne State in Detroit, Virginia Tech in Virginia, and University of Nevada, Reno Medical School in Reno, Nevada. And people don't realize when you get to that level that you have access to your records. So one night I was in the lab doing research at, 9 o'clock that night. And I said, let me just look at my records. So I was in the office. And I pulled my record off, man, and guess what she wrote? She wrote in there that I did not have the aptitude or the ability to do graduate school level work.
Wow.
And I thought about that, how many schools that killed me are not getting in. And then, long story short, I graduated my master's degree in cellular microbiology. I ended up with 2 medical degrees. Number 3 in my class, board certified, wrote questions for the board certification, fellowship in infectious diseases, Hawaii surgical training, tripler, board certified, all that stuff, certified in chemical and biological warfare, professor of virology. I can go down the line. And then, I'm very successful, and I put a scholarship at the university at Weber State. And I remember going back there, and I, gave a scholarship of my name, a microbiology scholarship. And this woman came up in my face and said, I always knew you were going to make it.
Really? Wham, 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 wham. Okay, so, all right, now, Doc, what did you say to her? I know let's keep it real. Maybe you said something nice to her and said, hey, you know what, thank you. But what did you say to this lady?
Oh, no, in the back of my head, I said, this lady's a piece of shit, man. And you out your damn mind. You crazy. I mean, I really wanted to, give her tell her what the fucking real deal is. But my success was, was important. And I looked at her, and I as I went through life, you do your thing, and you get realize a lot of these white people are very envious of you, especially even black folks are the same way. And so my success did what I needed to do, man. It wasn't easy, being always one of the few black people or the only black person, but I did it. I made it, and all this is a testament of their fortitude and the adverse effects and the negativity that I had these people. And these people gave me post-traumatic syndrome, and I've always remembered what the teacher said, aptitude. The teacher told me I was retarded. The white professor writing a letter telling me how awful I was. So if I'm retarded, how in the hell I end with 6 degrees?
Thank
how
you.
I end up being a military officer? How am I director of a program? How am I one of the top guys on the planet? Why am I, one of the science officers for the AIDS Institute here in America? I can go on and on and all the stuff I did. So it just doesn't make any sense. And that's why I tell kids and all the black students I train in infectious diseases in Peru and kids around the world is that never let anybody define who you are. You always define your damn self. And that person, that you think is your friend, you always need to make sure you check your letters of recommendation because you really know what people really think about you. And so you never always remember at the end of the day, your success is dependent upon you and not being qualified or vetted by somebody else. You vet your damn self. You take your ass in there, you look in that damn mirror and says, hey, I'm not perfect. I'm a work in progress, but shit, I'm who I am. And excuse my language, fuck everybody else.
This is smoke world, brother. You say what you want to say and how you want to say it. Now you kind of skipped over some stuff. Now you was in the military.
Yeah.
What branch of military were you in?
I was in the Army. I came out as a second lieutenant in commission in 1986. Scholarship cadet. I was a chemical biological warfare officer. That was my initial branch, and the Army gave me the opportunity to get my master's degree and go to med school and all that stuff. And so after I got done with med school, I switched over to the medical corps, and I did my surgery training in Honolulu, Hawaii, at Tripler. And then the rest of it's just history, man. It's just one thing after another. And when people look at my age and what I've done, and it really shocks people. But there's a reason why you look at my CV. The reason why it is because, I couldn't be average. The system won't let me be average. I can't be a Tiny Tim. I gotta be my A game. And so you look at Michael Jordan, he cannot be average. Michael Vick, they won't let his butt sit on the bench. He got to play now, but they'll take a white boy and develop that son of a bitch for 10 years.
Yes,
And
they
as black
will.
kids, we as black kids, we got to play now. And so in my life, man, shit, you think, man, these teachers are telling me this and that, and you're this and that. And I mean, I got 6 degrees, and you got somebody with 2 degrees telling you need to work on your communication. And this is the problem we have in our society, that white man's validation. You know, I think one of the greatest things I've seen, you got to look at Colin Kaepernick's black and white thing on Netflix. Everything that's in there is a testament to what black people go to. They always try to qualify you, tell you what you ain't good enough to do. And so, and we don't have that luxury of fucking up. I mean, we got to be almost perfect and to get to that next level. And the education is the same way. They tell you, only we can do is dribble basketball, rap, sing, and all that stuff. But hey, there's some guys out here like myself. Shit, we can do all of it. And we cannot be average. And so when you look at my life, it's a testament to shit I've had to go through from white people telling me what I can't do. So now, I remember I was doing the NBA NBA show Mile High in with Ralph Sampson and Spencer Hayward, and Magic Johnson and Chris Paul and these guys. And I've done about 6 programs with them in Denver. And I remember, man, one of the guys goes, man, let me tell you something. We're going to Google this, guys. How many degrees does Dr. Fauci have? Shit, Dr. Fauci, that white boy got 2 degrees, man. He got a bachelor's of art from Holy Cross and an MD from Cornell. You know how many degrees does Dr. Rowland have? 6. He's been at the NIH his whole entire career. Dr. Rowland has been all over the world. So you make the difference in that. That tells you the big difference, doesn't it?
And I wanted to touch on that because, again, speaking about being around the world, I know you were in the Amazon. Why don't you give us a little history on what was going on with some of the things that you were doing, assisting some of the people? These are the things that folks need to hear.
Yeah. I had the opportunity back in 2004, 2003, about that time, 2003, to be on a mission, both military and also humanitarian down in Peru. And I happened to go down. I didn't want to go, man, because I've been in these Honduras jungles, and I've been in different jungles. So I already know that you go down there, man, you got to deal with donkeys pooping around, mosquitoes, or running water. So I wasn't going to go. And, man, about 2 o'clock in the morning, man, I said, Doc, we have to have another doctor on the team. So I said, okay, y'all, let's go, man. So wheels up at like 4 in the morning, got to the airport, and flew down to Peru. Man, let me tell you something. I fell in love with that shit, man. It was unbelievable. And my first experience with the people was I went to a town called Barranca, which is north of Lima. Man, I went in this town, probably about 1,000 people lined up, and I started taking care of them, interviewing them, what's your problem, give them medication, give them vaccines, man. And I got done with that. That thing made my soul full again. And then we took a plane to a town called Iquitos. Man, I'm there. I don't speak any damn Spanish. And man, the people come up to me and says hi, and I'm trying to interpret what I could do. And I had a white doctor with me from the University of Utah. And a little Spanish guy comes up to us and says, hola. And he reaches out to shake the white dude's hand, and the white dude wouldn't shake this dude's hand. He looks at me, Dr. Joe Rivera, Chief OBGYN, Director of the hospital, looks at me and shakes my hand, and I shook his hand. And lo and behold, this guy's the biggest doctor, the most powerful doctor in that area. And, man, we became buddies. That white doctor, he was done. So, man, this guy gets me in a boat. You can imagine, it's 8 o'clock at nighttime. I'm new to the Amazon. He gets me in a boat, man. That boat's maybe like 2 feet wide, 8 feet long, and we go across the damn Amazon River at nighttime, man, to a village of chiefs. And I'm thinking, man, the anaconda's going to jump out of the water and grab me, and piranhas and all that. I mean, I might have to take some grenades and shit.
Yeah, I would be thinking the same thing.
And so I get to this village, man, walking there. You can imagine a village, a hut, fire in the middle, like one of them Indiana Jones movies. Or maybe the Sitting Bull with the chief all around the thing, man. The guy goes, this is Dr. Rowland, the gringos. He's here to help our people. and blah, 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 blah. And the chief says, you're blessed. Get back in the boat, back to the other side, across that river that nighttime. They took me to the television station that night. And I go, okay. I don't speak any Spanish. And so they said, the interviewer starts interviewing me, blah, 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 blah. And all I could say was, uno Fanta Naraja, por favor. Orange drink. I like orange drinks. I like orange drinks for about 100 times. That's all I could say, man. They finally got a translator in there, man. It says, this is Dr. Rowling. He's here to help our people. And I'm like a deer looking to the camera. All these people improve. And I go, I'm going to do 6 surgeries tomorrow. And the price of my surgery is a Fanta. So I'm going to have a consult tomorrow, bring a Fanta. Man, I shit you not, brother. There was 1,000 son of a bitches lined up with Fantas.
Wow.
And I looked at all of them, and man, I had Fanta that, we're not talking about no damn liter. We're talking like 3-liter bottles of Fanta, man.
So what you do? That's what I'm about to say. So what'd you do with them sodas, man? Did you drink them?
Shit, I was drinking them like shit. I was drinking them like smoking marijuana, baby. Shit was good. And sure enough, man, out of them people, man, I ended up doing 6 surgeries, brother. I picked 2 pediatric with deformities, 2 middle-aged people, and 2 old folks, man. So the most complicated was surgeries that the kid had a congenital defect, had a club foot. And, I had to do that surgery. I fixed him, man. We had the mamas in the OR, CIAs in the OR, police in the OR, camera people in the OR. Because people didn't know that Negroes did surgeries, man.
They couldn't believe that. They're like, whoa, is this real? Yeah, exactly. This guy should be rapping or singing. He shouldn't be performing surgeries.
Man, so this is probably one of the most difficult surgeries of my life. Man, I'm up there. I'm sweating like a pig, man. Not because of the technique, because I had all these damn people looking at me, man. I did that surgery in about 3 hours, brother. And the mother fell on the floor crying, going, my God, Dios, Dios. The nurse looked at me and said one word, perfecto. And then the next day, man, they flew me down to meet the president of the country. And, man, it's like, I'm talking CIA type stuff. I'm talking, they blocking roads off, police cars. It was crazy, like I'm a rock star. And I go up there and meet the president, at the journal. And he says, man, we saw what you did on television. Man, I said, told the president, man, you guys brought my soul back to medicine. I said, I'm going to give you guys 15 years of my life to help your people out. And he goes, man, you are blessed. You go anywhere in this damn country, doc. And that's how it started.
Man, that's amazing, brother. That is amazing. Now, I know your diabetes got to be shot then, because at the end of the day, you drink all them damn sodas. What medicines you got to be on
man,
now?
I kid you not, man. I don't know if you ever had a Fanta from overseas. It's completely different than this.
No, it is.
Bad stuff we have here.
No, it's a different flavor.
Totally different taste. Man, you talking? I put Fanta in my damn Captain Crunch. On Frosted Flakes. That's how good it was, man.
Oh,
but anyway, long story short, man, that's how that started. And then I was doing missions in the jungles, man. This is real time stuff, man. I would go out in the jungles and we see 500,000 people in a village. You can imagine being on a boat, man, like 8 hours going down the Amazon, which is unbelievable. And you get out there, and then you get to that shore, and you have to jump out of the boat into the water. And man, everybody like looking at me, but I'm the leader. Shit, man, I jump out that damn boat, get in that water, man, waist high. You can feel the piranhas biting you, the leeches getting on your skin,
So man, now who are you working on? I guess what's this? Indigenous people who you were working with?
Yeah,
that live in the Amazon.
Yeah. These people been in the jungle for 50,000 years, man. They don't speak no damn. They speak Yagua and Boer and all these different languages, man, that you wouldn't even know. And so you can imagine getting in the water and you climb up into the riverbank about 15, 20 feet high, and then you got that jungle look at you, brother. You got a compass, you have an ideal direction you go, and man, we take our machetes and we start cutting, bro. Humping, 6, 7 hours. And all of a sudden you get to a clearing in the middle of the jungle, and man, these kids will be waiting for you. You get there, man, and boy, these kids run up to you and look at you, and they go, at that time, I was probably the first black person they ever saw in their life. And you get that village, man, we set up and we start taking care of the people, man. And man, we do everything, man. I do surgeries out there, no power, in a school. with a light and alcohol, and the best we had are betadine, and take care of women that are pregnant or urinary tract infection. And 99% of the people all got worms. Their stomachs are swollen. We give them medication, and these guys are shitting worms out 3-4 hours later, man. And we take care of the people, man. And at the end of that, we play them in volleyball or we play a soccer game with them. And then we get done, brother, and we have to hike back. Like my sergeant major said, always, you can go someplace, but you better save your energy because you got to get back. And you hump through that whole thing, man. But when you hump back, your backpack's a little lighter. Your steps are a little bit better because you've done great God's work, man. You get on that boat, going back home, and you reflect on, man, I actually did something. You know, I tell my students, can we save all the people? My students look at me and go, they say, yeah, we can. I said, no, we can't. But if we can save one person's life, we did our job. And that's the story.
That's a blessing, brother.
Now, real quickly, and I know you just gave us a whole bunch of information, but had a conversation with your son, and he talked about a situation with some of the leadership in Peru, where they were, in need of medical care, and you basically came in and saved the day. Do you mind touching on that a little bit?
Yeah, I live, I've lived in Peru like 15 years now, working there for almost 20 years. And I remember one night at 2 o'clock in the morning, man, I had security people come to my house, and they said, hey, Dr. Rowland, we need you. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And I end up being the nephew of the president of the country at that time, President Garcia. And so I go to the hospital. I mean, this guy's foot is black. I mean, you can smell the stench everywhere. And he's been in these other hospitals and stuff, man. And so I ended up doing an emergency surgery on him that morning. I took off half his foot, and I left it open, and I had to do serial surgeries on him. But long story short, man, I took care of this guy. The guy went into a coma. He was septic, and I did the best I could with all the knowledge I had. And man, I saved this guy's life. And that was the rest of his history. So I had the opportunity to take care of some very important people, prosecutors, lawyers, mayors, and stuff in my career in Peru. And that's why, Peru is a very important part of who I am. And, one part of it's got me to this point now, but that's my humanitarian part of giving back to people. People pay me with fairness. I didn't take any money. And so I had the opportunity to do that. And so, that's why I was nominated Global Humanitarian World last year. I didn't win. If I had won, I got $400,000. But at least I was nominated. I was the first black ever. So
congratulations, brother. Congratulations. You won in our eyes. Trust me. And the folks who are listening, you have won that prize. So don't even sweat that. Now, interesting, you mentioned something about being in the jungle. You say you was treating folks for worms. Now, out of curiosity, what medication were you using to treat those worms?
Well, the main medication that we use for treating parasitic worms is a medication called benazole, mudbenazole, and we use ivermectin. These are the three Cadillac drugs, man. I've seen it all, man. I've seen worms coming out of people's eyeballs, the legs, the stomach. I mean, it's amazing the stuff I've seen. But this is what we treat people with, man. And this is 90% of the people on the planet are infected with worms all the time because of the environment, the soil, feces. You look at their feet; they're barefooted. The worms drill holes in their feet, gets into their body, goes into their whole systemic thing. So we use mebendazole, ivermectin. So I know medication very well because this is what we use, and also this medication we talk about in our exams. We have to know the mechanism of action of how the drug works, pharmacokinetics, etc., and that's what we teach people. So I'm very familiar with that medication, and even more with malaria medication. I've treated thousands of patients with malaria from, falciparum, Vivax, benign, malignant malaria. See people die from malaria. I've been in the jungles where I've taken samples for hundreds of patients in a village and put it on a slide and look at it under a microscope that's generated by the solar because there's no power in the jungles. So I'm very familiar with these medications. I've seen how they work in the real world.
Now, that's a good segue because I asked that question because we hear the word, the medicine ivermectin when it comes to COVID treatment. I'm going to ask, in your medical opinion, is that a good drug, or has that been a drug authorized to treat the COVID-19 virus?
Well, I think your president told you to put your head in the microwave,
He
drink
told
some
he told us a
Clorox,
lot of
shoot
things,
yourself with
sir.
some bleach.
Yeah, he told us a
Yeah.
lot.
So when it comes to ivermectin, man, there's anecdotal evidence that came out of Chile that they gave it some people and they got improvement. But I can tell you right now, I have not seen that damn thing work, because I had 22 of my friends that are doctors died within 14 days of each other. There are pictures on my Facebook, and you want to put that to the test. And they did everything at the beginning. Ivermectin, malaria medication, that shit don't make a damn bit of difference, because the mechanism of action is not there for that. I know what the mechanism of action of what ivermectin does. It paralyzes, causes hyperpolarization to the worms. It makes them paralyzed, and that's why they don't kill it. That's why these worms can't hang onto your intestine with their hooks. That's what it does. Malaria medication inhibits the parasite from getting iron. That's what it does, a malaria parasite. And there might be some anecdotal dose where it might cause decrease immune response, decrease inflammatory. But these medications are not going to kill the virus. They're not inhibiting the virus. They're not going to change anything on the virus. That is a fact. Nobody can argue with that. Any medical book, clinical immunology, clinical infectious disease book, parasitology, tropical medicine, I teach this stuff. In all my books, we know what the drugs do. And it does not do what people think it does, and that's where people are going to make the mistakes at.
Okay, so now with COVID-19, we've been getting pretty much, I'm not going to say overload because it's an important factor, but you're getting so much contradicting information. You get one station or one radio personality saying one thing. I kind of want to get the folks in the right direction and get the truth on what's going on based on your medical opinion with COVID-19. First of all, COVID-19 is a virus. So can you explain a little bit to the people who are listening exactly what is COVID-19?
No, COVID-19 is the disease. The virus is the SARS virus, which is the coronavirus. And it's the SARS-CoV coronavirus. And this virus has been around for millenniums, man. This virus is an RNA virus, very immunogenic, capable of changing, and that's what it does. It mutates. But this virus did not come from some biological warfare where there was gain of function. Is there gain of function? Hell yeah, there's gain of function. We do gain of function all the time to understand the pathophysiology of disease. But there's somebody watching some science fiction movie, and somebody was in a lab in Wuhan, and a vial dropped in a book, and they got infected, like the movie 28 Days? Absolutely not. We've already looked at the phylogenetics, which is genetic makeup of the virus, and we know what it came from. It came from a bat. And that's the same strain that they took, that virus jumped into that human being. They got a sample from that human being that was infected. They did a genetic synthesis to Pfizer and all the pharmacy companies. That's what they make their vaccine off of. And there was no gain of function. But this virus came from an animal. All viruses that really cause pandemics come from animals. And this is one of the reasons why we're never, ever going to get rid of this virus through vaccines or medicine. It's not going to happen. And I can give people a comparison to this. You look at smallpox. There's always the example of people throughout time. But we're able to eliminate smallpox around the world because there's no animal vector, period. We have some samples in some of the laboratories just to keep it on hand, but that's it. When you look at this coronavirus has an animal vector, many animal vectors: dolphins, whales, dogs, cats, ducks, chickens, bats, monkeys. I can go down. As long as there's an animal model, this virus is always going to be in the population. So we fast forward to today. Somebody ate a bat. They like bat meat. They like bat brains. They drink bat blood in these foreign countries. I know. I work in these wet markets. So you can imagine a wet market with live animals that they love to eat, and that's where they get their protein. So you can look at a wet market. You got a bat on top of a duck on top of the pig. The pig is shitting. The duck is vomiting. The monkey is eating all that stuff. the virtues, the bugs, the birds on top of that pooping on these animals, they're all interchanging these viruses and feces and coughing. Man, that's where your super viruses come from. And so that person went there, not in Wuhan, did not start in Wuhan, it started in another city. That's where people make the mistake at. Say, hey man, I want some bat meat. You got him some bat meat, maybe 2 pounds of it, and got infected. And he coughed after the virus got into his body, established it. He coughed. And that's how it started. And that's how we're at today. And this virus has 3 transmission modes: respiratory, secretion, and feces. And that's the way it is. And this virus the coronavirus is not new. Every one of us get coronavirus every year. It's caused of the common cold. But these are the alpha coronavirus, and it's 4 of them. This virus, the SARS-CoV 2019, is like the SARS from 2002, MERS 2013, and this one 2019. These are beta coronavirus, and these are pathogenic. These are game changers. And what happens is that this virus figured it out. It figured out virulence effectiveness. How can I infect more people? Well, guess what, folks? This virus has what we call trophism, multiple, which it can affect every cell in your body: your eyeballs, your lungs, your kidneys, your brain, etc. It affects your pancreas. You become diabetic. It can affect your penis. You can get erectile dysfunction. It goes down the line. Versus influenza, which has a trophism only for your lungs. Polio has a trophism only for your peripheral nerves. Rabies has a trophism for the peripheral nerves. Rabies loves your polio is your gastrointestinal tract. Rabies is your peripheral nerve. HIV is your CD4 cells. This virus has multiple trophism, which is a game changer.
Now, you said a mouthful, Doc. Now, I'm not saying you're scaring folks, but nonetheless, with all that you have said, what is the best way that folks can protect themselves against this virus in this day and time? We had the vaccine. Now, that's a big fight. Should folks get vaccinated or not? What is your opinion on the vaccination? Because it's my understanding that the vaccine was created with a certain strand that first came out, but now you have Delta and these other types of variants of the virus that the vaccine may not be as potent against to fight against these variants. So what is your opinion of the vaccine?
I told everybody this a year ago. You can Google me and get on YouTube and look at all the programs from NPR, MSNBC, Black News Channel. I told you guys a year ago what was going to happen when this vaccine was going to come out. I told folks you will be getting 2 and 3 boosters for the next 50 years because there's too many variants out there.
Whoa. How many years, you say? How many years? 50 years or?
50 years, yeah, 50 years or more.
Wow.
That's a fact.
That's a game changer.
Because it's a game changer, and that's why you have to sit down, what I call have that big mama conversation, what I'm doing all over the country now, from rural Mississippi to Arkansas, Florida, Washington, D.C., all the places. I mean, I've been, every day I'm doing some type of program because one of my responsibilities is to educate people. So when you look at the vaccines, let's look at the virus. There is no long-term immunity. You get infected with the coronavirus, you're going to get reinfected again. That's a fact. There is no long-term antibodies. That's why people get the common cold every year. That's why people that have gotten the virus and get the COVID virus, or SARS virus, they get reinfected again and reinfected again. There's no long-term immunity. So you fast forward that and put it into the vaccine. That's the same damn thing with the vaccine, man. You're going to get, your body's going to see it, maybe give you an immune reaction, and guess what? That's why you got to get a booster shot. That's why I tell everybody out there, and I'm a pro-vaccine guy, but this vaccine, I'm sitting on the sideline and watch you guys be the guinea pigs. I'm going to find out what's going to happen.
Okay,
we already see what's happening with the adverse effects. Sorry.
All right, so break it down in plain English. You said you're sitting on the sidelines, so you haven't been vaccinated.
Oh, hell no, baby. I'm up in the stands eating popcorn on the train platform watching you guys go by.
What's your reason why, if you want to share? Why haven't you been vaccinated? What are you saying is going on with this vaccination?
This vaccine ain't been tried and true, baby. It's like, you like you say, man, if you have a good cigar and a good brandy, baby, you're in heaven, baby. You're smooth, suave. This damn vaccine, baby, is all over the damn place. I mean, it has no credibility, no long-term smoothness in it. We're figuring it out. And that's why it takes vaccines 3 to 10 years to come to the work, because by that time we've tested everybody. We've taken 10,000 black kids with sickle cell and we injected them. We've taken 10,000 big mamas that got diabetes and had one of the legs cut off. We've taken, 5,000 white kids that have autism. All the different diseases. Then you inject and you go, okay, man, you know what? Man, half them kids that got sickle cell, man, they ain't never been sickle cell crisis, man. Man, half the autism kids all got myocarditis of the heart. Man, we got to be careful. We got to have a warning. But they didn't do that. They took the most healthiest people in Germany, all white, injecting them, and came up with this. The antibodies last for 85 days. In their own paper says we didn't test minorities, disability, autoimmune, compromised people, women that are pregnant, and children. We're going to figure this, and old people, we're going to figure this out in the field. And guess what they're doing? You are the field test.
So how can, again, back to that original question, what do you think the best way, based on what you shared right there, what is the best way for one to protect themselves, if they can, from this COVID-19?
Well, one of the things about having education at my level is one of the things is having education, educating people. If you understand what you're dealing with, then you can come up with a solution to protect yourself. So we have solutions. Doc, what are the solutions? I've been saying this for 2 years now. Man, this is a viral disease. You better wear an antiviral mask. You better kick that blue cheap, surgical mask that hasn't been tested against viruses. Boy, you better step your game up, man, and get rid of the FFP2 and FFP3 and get your antiviral mask, baby. You better get some antiseptic hand wash for your hands. Damn sure better get you some hydrosol so you don't touch that damn contaminated kiosk machine that has feces in it, or the ATM machine at the bank machine, or you put your PIN number at the gas station and you grab the gas station. You better spray your stuff, boy. You go to the market, baby. All them people in there breathing on your bananas and picking their nose and squeezing the avocados and tasting the grapes and throwing them back in there. All that's contaminated. You better take some hot salt and spray your food out before food sanitizer before you eat it.
All right,
baby,
so
whoa,
Doc.
You better not wear your shoes in your house.
Now, what spray is this? What do we need to spray? What is this that we need?
It's hydrosol. Art will be able to tell you about that, but it's a hypochlorous acid solution that we use to spray foods, man. You spray your food, you get home, because your food it is contaminated. But people touching it. I mean, come on, man. You got common sense, baby. You go to the market, you see what people do.
Oh, absolutely.
People scratching their ass and
Digging their nose.
touching them damn apples and shit. And you look at their dirty, nasty hands, picking their nose, putting boogers on your bean sprouts, and and tasting the celery and throwing that shit back in there. And you fools talk about organic my ass.
And so we had that conversation the other night. Coming out of the bathroom, not washing their hands at all. Then they go run their hands all across those grapes. And the bananas and the strawberries and the mangoes and everything.
And all, sweet Georgia peaches that you love so much.
Yeah.
Now,
that's why
Art, okay, so now do you have that particular spray with grow out oils?
Yeah, that's what's in the Dr. Lane Rowland antiviral kit. As a matter of fact, everything that he's talking about, we were fortunate enough to be able to take one of Dr. Rowland's classes that he offers, right? And I would advise everybody to take it, because you think you learned a lot tonight. When you take that class, it's like, you're going to know 100 times more than any common person. And then you'll even find yourself having conversations with, so-called medics who don't really and truly understand viruses and viral load and between RNA and DNA viruses and these sorts of things. But that was the reason that we actually decided to create that whole kit, because that's what we were using when we would go out and do our grocery shopping and get our gas and just moving around on an everyday basis. So absolutely.
All right. So now you mentioned the class, Doc. What class is it that you have, and tell us about this class?
We have a basic microbiology course and virology course that we teach usually every Thursday for an hour in about 20 minutes over 5 weeks. It's a short course to teach people about microbiology, understanding virology, public health, epidemiology, understanding vaccines, and understanding how to navigate in this new world. You have to educate people, but you got to get education for people that know what the hell they're doing, that are trained in stuff. And that's what we do, man. It's the same class I teach in the medical school and in virology schools, and we train our students, and that's how we have a basic course for the common person. Everybody, as we move forward, everybody will become a microbiologist. You have to be. I mean, this is how you're going to make it to the other side. In reality, folks, I'm sorry, I'm not the bearer of bad news. Sit down, get yourself a cigar, get you a double brandy. But this is the truth, hard truth, man. But we're going to be doing this for another 50 years, and you will be wearing a mask for the next 100 years. That is the way it is. I'm sorry, but this is your new norm in this new world that we live in.
Okay, so I have a question. For those who say that the pandemic is over, what do you say to that? Yes or no?
Well, I say absolutely not. And let me tell you when the pandemic, it will be over. And this is the so-called experts they're not experts. The pandemic will be over when we look at the feces, the sewage, and we measure the viral load in the sewage. And as the sewage starts not showing any viral loads from the SARS-CoV virus, then we know the virus is going out of the population. As long as there's viruses in the sewage, the virus is going to be here. So that tells us how effective our mitigation policies are. It tells us that people have natural antibodies to get rid of this infection versus vaccine mandated or vaccine induced antibodies. All of this stuff, when we get to that famous word, herd immunity, which will not be just 90%, it'll be 100%, then we know the virus is gone when we measure the virus in the sewage.
Now, are they conducting those tests now anywhere?
Yeah, they're doing some of the tests and stuff. It's not a really wide known things because when it comes to feces, people, just irks people to think that, you folks go to the kiosk machine, you put your PIN number in there, and sure enough, your finger is contaminated with feces and viruses and hepatitis and coronavirus, and you put your finger in your mouth or your eyeballs, you go to the drive-through window and you say, hey, give me a Big Mac combo, and they say it's $5.65, man. You give them the money and they give you a change back, and the first thing you do is y'all put them damn french fries in your mouth. You don't wash your damn hands, and that money got shit all over it, man.
Come on, man. You messing the people up right now. You throwing it for a monkey, right?
Baby, this ain't no damn... This ain't no damn Harry Potter, man. You want Harry? I did with my daughter. 2 years ago. A lot of people know me from my daughter, Jordan Rowling. And I told my daughter when we started, I can give you the Dr. Rowling version, or I can give you the daddy version. Which one you want?
Oh, man.
And the rest is history.
All right. So now you mentioned classes. Now, how can these folks, become a student in one of these classes? What do they need to do?
Just go to our website, tapetabiosecurity.com, and they can enroll and get enrolled in. It costs $300. And you have me, Dr. Ware, an epidemiologist, and we have a class every Thursday for an hour and 20 minutes teaching you guys the stuff we teach people. You get your own book. There's no test, but there's clinical field study stuff where we say, hey, go to Walmart and watch what they do in the women's bathroom. One of the most nastiest places on the planet.
Whoa. Now you sound you hating on Walmart, Doc. Whoa.
Hey, Walmart get you killed.
All right, so now give me that website. Give me that website again, because you said that kind of fast. You talk like me. You said it fast, so folks can hear it.
It's tapetabiosecurity.com. tapetabiosecurity.com. TPAIDA bio bio security SERCURITY.com. If you go to my Instagram, you can see the website, Tapeta Biosecurity.
Okay, is this going to be like a virtual class that we do or something?
Yeah. So we have an in-house Zoom class every Thursday. And then if somebody really wants to take the challenge and really take it to a next level, I'm going to Peru in December. So I'm taking people that want to go and see my world bucket list.
Oh,
we're going to go to the jungles, and we can bring Christmas toys and books to the children in the jungles and go visit Machu Picchu and all these different places so people can see a different part of the world and see how people really live.
How long will you be down there?
It'll be 8 days.
8 days, okay. And what's again, I guess you go to that website, pretty much everything's
Yeah, we
there.
have it on there. It's on the website. It's on
Okay.
there. It's called the Winter Jungle Trip.
Okay.
Yeah, so man.
Listen, hey Art, you
And
got
this is
anything
real-
for the
this-
doc?
this
Because
is
I
real
know his
stuff,
time
man.
is precious, man. I don't want to hold him up. He already got me messed up on my French fries right now. So thinking about
Hey,
the
come
French
on, man.
fries right now.
You
Come
said-
on, Doc.
You said keep it real, man.
Absolutely.
You said keep
But
it
I put
real.
the sands.
But
No.
Can you imagine going to Baskin Robbins, man? You got some chick back there with 6-inch fingernails making you a fudge sundae. That's here, my pretty, and they got dirt underneath them damn nails, and they put little peanuts on your ice cream, sprinkles, like the wicked. It is Halloween, isn't it?
Oh man.
And then when you're throwing up, when you're pregnant at 3 o'clock in the morning, your stomach all swollen, and you're shitting and vomiting out of both places, praying to God what happened. It's from them damn nasty fingers, baby.
All right, so now here's the thing too. I'm glad you mentioned that. Now the hand sanitizers that are at the store, at the dollar store, they at the market, they at the Walmart, are those effective in
Hell
cleaning?
No, they're not, man.
Damn, man.
Hell no,
Come
they're
on,
not,
Doc.
'cause they're against
Damn.
bacteria, man.
Doc, so
brother,
I might just put some Gatorade on my
I'm here to
hand.
tell
You just saying pour some Gatorade on my
Brother,
hand and keep it moving.
You better get you some stuff that has 70% alcohol and has been tested against viruses. Not what the hell you gonna man? This is like my 5th cigar I've smoked already tonight, folks. It's my 8th glass of cognac. I'm just chilling like he told me,
Absolutely.
you know. And come on, just think about it, man. What the hell does an antibacterial soap got to do with a damn virus? That don't make no damn sense.
Educate the people. Educate us. So what do I need? Forget this then. What do I need? I need to get one of the antiviral kits from the Grow Out Oils, number one. But where can I get this stuff? Can we find this stuff in the stores, or we got to go online?
You can look at some of the stores and see if you can search it. But we've made it very simple. Just go to TopetaBiosecurity.com. We have all that stuff.
Okay.
I mean, we have the antiseptic. We have it all, brother. Air purification, you name it. I mean, hell, we're doing a big project right now for a big university, man, and they bought everything, but we're creating that bubble to save people's lives. So you got to get the stuff from real people. Because somebody telling you, it's like somebody telling you, man, there's that sweet potato pie and pumpkin pie the same, man. I know what you smoking, baby, but what you drinking, it ain't no damn cognac.
No, not a y'all. Yeah. We just had that conversation at work. It's funny that you said that. Pumpkin pie, sweet potato pie. Different demographics of people like a certain type of pie. And you can guess where that's at.
Hey, you know, people like collard greens and spinach, man. I ain't no damn pie. I like spinach.
Oh, man. Hey, Art, you got anything for the doc before we let him go? That we ain't,
Yeah, I just want to appreciate, tell him I appreciate the time for stepping in and speaking to the people because it's very important. And just one thing I want to add, you had mentioned where should you go to get your stuff. You know, there are a lot of places you can get different stuff. But what I always tell people, keep in mind, is that if you have an individual that is on a daily basis at colleges and universities, different cities throughout the country, helping them create bubbles and keeping people safe, then that's probably a good place to look to get any type of materials or any products that are going to help you and your family stay safe. So, that TopetaBiosecurity.com website has a list of things on there from masks to all type of stuff. And, like what I discussed, you go to growoutoils.com, you can get the Dr. Lane Roll antiviral kit. And that kit was put together specifically for people to, travel, to keep on their person, to walk around. You stick it in your car. You got everything you need there.
Absolutely, man.
Is great. And, it's not going to see the thing about the hand oil is that it's not going to evaporate in the air, so it's like wearing a glove almost. And, we've incorporated the ingredient in it that deactivates the coronavirus. So, you got to really pay attention to who's trying to tell you what to get and just kind of look at their background and figure out what they've done. We've been training with this man for, almost 2 years, right? So we think we're pretty versed in how to stay safe, and everything's worked out fine so far.
Nice.
And I would
Hey,
encourage.
let me add something to that. And one of the key things that the grower always has is the spray. You get that little spray, so when you're about to touch that damn kiosk machine, you spray that stuff. You talk about your money, you need to spray your money with that stuff. You spray that stuff and it's going to deactivate, so you're going to have clean money and clean ATM. And the thing I'm going to say, folks, you know, y'all, I don't know what the hell Kool-Aid y'all been drinking, but y'all damn shouldn't be drinking all Kool-Aid with no sugar. Y'all been drinking sour Kool-Aid.
The 5-in-1 juice, man. You know, we like 5 pounds of sugar to one cup of water. That's that 5-in-1 juice, brother. That's how we do it around the way.
Brother.
You know, so
Yeah, but see what happens, man.
we be
See,
popping them pills like,
that
oh, you know, your diabetes is shot, your sugars. You know how they say it back in the day. You know, your sugars is he got them high sugars.
Yeah, I know, man, because I was hanging out with Dorothy on the Yellow Brick Road, and Toto, and the Tin Man, and the Scarecrow. We got to the Wizard Castle. I told them to shut up. They need to follow me. Went back there and pulled that damn curtain back. Ain't no damn Oz, a wizard. Just a regular old guy.
Joey from the hood. Joey, that's you, man. That's where you went. Oh, Joey. Joey back there like, yo, man, I got a new job, man. Don't be messing up my good work. Hey, Doc, before I let you go, brother, is there anything that maybe we didn't touch on that you want the folks to know before we break out?
No, I think the only thing, folks, is just be practical, man. Take a deep breath, man. We're gonna get through this, and like I always say, we're gonna get to the other side. Just make sure you understand what's happening and don't be some sheep, being led to the slaughter. But make sure you question stuff. Make sure if people are telling you about a virus, you better sit down and find out what their background is. Because there are a lot of people from Montana, Utah, talking about viruses. They never seen one in their damn life. So you better make sure you're following people that know what they're doing. And we have a long ways to go. And I look forward to coming back on doing a part 2 with you, man. If you got time.
Come on, brother. Come on, Doc. We're going to have you here. Anything you bring out new, any information that you want to let the folks know about, you got this platform. This is yours. Smoke World.
No, brother,
Gotcha,
what I'm saying, because it'll take people like you. See, this is the screwed up thing that I don't think people really understand. It's folks like you that have a platform, brother. You can save somebody's life tonight. You did tonight. You have more of an impact in saving people's lives than a damn vaccine. I'm just telling you that. That's a fact. And so we need to come back in a month and go, hey guys, this is the update. This is what's happening, man. This damn thing mutated again. We have to keep informing the people. Big Mama don't know.
No,
I'm
you're
the
right.
guy at Big Mama's house in Mississippi in a row house with a septic tank, sitting on Big Mama's porch while she's chewing snuff. And you folks probably don't even know what snuff is.
Yeah, watch
And
yourself
she's
now.
spitting that tobacco in a can, and I'm saying, Big Mama, this is about it. Baby, what we need to do? And I explained to Big Mama, I said, Big Mama, I'm going to tell you that and get your butt and go get me some pound cake so I can tell you the story.
Well, I know your sugar.
right.
Look, your sugar's got to be jacked. You like Fanta. You want some cake. I know, Doc. You got to be on some diabetes medicine, bro. You got to be.
Yeah, you know what?
All this sugar you've been knocking off
baby,
for the last 20 years.
I'll worry about diabetes tomorrow.
I'm gonna live the day.
I'm gonna live the day, baby. But anyway, I just want people to know that I'm real. I don't have no dog in this fight. I've lived a life. God's blessed me, brother. I work for Him, man. I've saved so many people's lives and done shit that'll blow your brain away because the shit I've done is seen in my life. So I've been blessed. So I got no dog in this fight, man. People want to listen, they listen. You can always Google. I mean, I'm probably the most Googled individual on the planet. Hey, black people, got my background, man. Come on, bro.
I don't know, bro.
1% of people are certified in chemical and biological warfare, man. Operating on babies with congenital defects at 3 years old. Pulling out worms out of people's eyeballs. Come on, man.
Nah. They don't exist. I mean, nah, you don't exist.
That's very significant too, Doc, because not only, do we not see black people that have the background, the biggest point, in my view, is that we have access to someone like that. And that's very
Facts.
important. And Smoke, this is very important. I mean, really, let's just make a declaration tonight, right now, and I need you all to cooperate with me on this. We're gonna start the Save Lives movement right here on Smoke World. We got Dr. Lane Rollins, and my man Smoke. And this is what we're going to do. This is the Save Your Life movement right now. It just started tonight. So we're going to continue to have these opportunities to speak with Dr. Rowland and, and all the other people that want to make sure that people get the correct information so they can move through this whole scenario here. Can we agree with that?
Amen.
Man, I can feel your heart, Smoke. I like you, brother. I would
Appreciate you,
love
brother.
To,
and I appreciate you,
hang out
man.
and just talk, just shoot the shit, because I'm real, guys. I mean, I'll tell you like it is, man. I'll tell you if you're fucked up, but I'll tell you if you're
Absolutely. Yeah, hell yeah. Listen, we're going to make that truth right now. We're going to do that. Again, this is the platform. It's open to you to share the information with the people, because we hear so many different things, and folks are, I'm hearing people, they don't know what direction to go. It's an overload to some degree, and they're like, it's over, I guess. No, it's not. It's not over. So, again, you explained that tonight. So that's why it's important to have folks like yourself explain to the people, educate the people on what's going on. And, brother, I truly, truly appreciate you taking the time out your busy schedule. I know you're a busy man because I see you on every show. You all over the world. I'm like, damn, you on Smoke World? Oh, Smoke World. We got Dr. Lane rolling.
I tell you, hey, Smoke, I tell you right now, man, I finished off this bottle of cognac, baby.
Yeah, boy. Hamburger. Yeah, boy. As you say, hamburger.
I'm going to sleep like a baby tonight, baby. I don't get a pacifier.
So you going to be good tonight with your sugars, with the sugars all high. Well, look, brothers, I appreciate you being a guest on the Smoke World podcast. Appreciate y'all taking the time to educate the people on so much stuff that's going on. I'm serious, man. I love you too, Doc. Like I said, we going to do it again.
I tell you right now, man, if you diss my ass, I would write my name in the side of your door.
Whoa. I know you about to I know you about to put your Ranger move on me.
No problem. I'll let them know who did it.
Whoa. Don't be. I have to call security. Security! Security.
Brothers, I love both you guys.
Thanks, brother. Love you too, brother. Appreciate it. Appreciate
love
you.
You guys, and I'm always here for you guys, folks. Y'all take care, man.
Well, there you have it, folks. Another episode of Smoke World in the books. Want to thank Dr. Lane Rowland, my brother Art, for being a guest on the Smoke World podcast. Again, folks, you can follow me on Instagram, Smoke World Podcast, email, stone@smokeworldpodcast.com, website, smokeworldpodcast.com. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. I really want you to do this for this particular episode because, again, Dr. Lane Rowland put some good information out there, folks. This is saving lives, okay? Bottom line. You need to know this stuff. This thing is serious, okay? I love you, and I need to see you. Peace.